Well, let's focus on the other Champions League tie, which maybe not quite as dramatic, but still it was a fascinating clash. Remember, it's 3-2 in Spain. Borussia Dortmund then scored 2 goals from Haaland. You thought, bish, bash, bosh, job done. But then Sevilla got a couple of goals back, and at the end, a couple of chances as well for La Liga side. But in the end, Borussia Dortmund holding on to book a place in the quarterfinals. Jurgen Klinsmann with us. Jurgen, Borussia Dortmund made this a lot more difficult than it had to be.
Yeah, that's right. I think, Sevilla gave it a real fight. They gave it everything they had. They had the opportunities even at the very end. Obviously, the difference maker was, again, Erling Haaland. Haaland scoring 2 goals, get them up 2-0, and then in Nesiri, he brought them back into the game, and then it was real drama at the end. But I think, overall, I think it deserved, advancing of Borussia Dortmund, and a very, very important one, obviously.
Jurgen, let's talk about Haaland's second goal, because it's a bit bonkers, and I'll try and sum it up quickly. Basically, Haaland thought he had a penalty. It wasn't initially given. Play continued. He then picked up the ball, shoulder barged the defender out the way, scored. The referee went over to check whether or not it was a foul. He decided it was a foul, but then took it back to the penalty and gave the penalty. Haaland took the penalty. The penalty was saved because the goalkeeper was off his line. The penalty then had to be retaken. He then scored the retaken penalty.
Huh?
I think that pretty much sums it up. And then, by the way, celebrated scoring the penalty by jumping and kind of taunting the goalkeeper, who had done the reverse to him after he'd made the initial save from the first penalty that was made to be retaken.
Hey.
Yeah, and that's it is kind of a storyline. But at the end of the day, I think he put it in. It was the second goal, but it's also a lesson for Erling Haaland, and because when you become so emotional and when you make then some reactions like he did after he scored then the second one, obviously on the goalie. This is something that people keep in mind. So now when he goes forward, people know, okay, if it takes a little piece of an edge to get him out of balance, to make him kind of do maybe something stupid, then people will start to do that. And this is something really that he hopefully takes away from this game today, saying, okay, you know what, I cannot do that because other people are watching that too. So maybe in my next Champions League game, they will provoke me constantly, and they're just waiting until I do something out of control. So hopefully he takes that lesson and learns out of it.
Jurgen, did you think it was a foul for his goal, his second goal that was disallowed?
Yeah, I thought so, yeah. Definitely, I thought.
Because we were watching it, Ali, and you didn't think it was a foul.
Oh, I was telling Fernando to hit the weight room. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. I said, because he essentially telling him, get out of the way. I'm about to score this goal. And I think that's the hunger and desperation to score goals that you appreciate for Erling Haaland. And while I agree with Jurgen that I think there's a lesson to be learned here for Haaland in terms of the edge that he plays with, I also think that it's important that he understands what separates him from the rest is also that edge.
Right.
That willingness to put yourself in a situation to go score goals, to sacrifice yourself. You saw him defending in the last few minutes of the game, almost carrying his team and saying, you know what, we are not going to give up a goal here. I'm going to win this header. I'm going to win this challenge. I'm going to make this slide tackle. And that's your center forward doing that. That is something that you cannot teach, and Erling Haaland has that in bunches. Yes, he plays with an edge. Yes, he has to control it. But I do think that edge separates him from the rest.
You don't like his penalties, though?
No, I do not, because he's a great striker of the ball. I don't quite understand why he's giving it the whole hesitation. Look, the way that he hits the ball, he hits it with power, picks a spot. There's nobody getting close to it. He gives a chance to the goalkeeper whenever he's given the hesitation. I don't quite understand it. I wouldn't do it that way. But then again, I think he's a little bit better than me. Just a tiny bit.
His opening goal was very Erling Haaland as well. Jurgen, right place, right time. And the celebration as well, picking Royce up as if he was just a feather and throwing him around.
Yeah, and I think because this is pretty cool. I mean, it shows kind of how connected he is with his teammates, how he carries really this team. And Alejandro, he said it rightfully. At the end of the game, he was there to fight for the team, to help out in defensively. And it's almost like a leadership role at the age of 20, which is very early, for obviously he's just started his career, that you expect, from other players. You expect that type of a mentality from a Marco Reus or Emre Can, but he really stood out. He was there for his teammates. He made sure that somehow we survived this battle with Sevilla, and they did. and that's why he can be proud of himself tonight. Except the little reaction he had on the goalkeeper.
And it seems to be a role that he relishes as well. It's like he was born for it.
Oh, say that again, Dan, sorry.
The fact that he comes on and he tries to carry his team, it seems so natural. It just seems to be within his DNA that he is going to be the leader and he's going to do everything he can for his side.
Yeah, and that shows, as Ale said, it shows his hunger, that shows his willingness to go beyond, in certain moments. And that's what they need. They need that grinding culture at Dortmund, to not only move up in the table of the league in the Bundesliga, but also to advance in European Champions League, which is now it's getting more and more difficult. But he has that. He has this drive, and he has that hunger, and there's a lot more to come. Obviously, he's only 20 years of age.
20 years of age. It's taken him 14 games to score 20 Champions League goals, absolutely smashing the opposition out of the water. Before, it was Harry Kane who got to 20 goals the quickest, and that took him 24 matches. Jules, he is, along with Mbappe, the hottest property in the world of football at the moment. Me and Ali were talking when we were watching this game. Where would he go? Like, who, if you were to say, right, this is the team that I would say is the favourite, he's going to leave Borussia Dortmund, which side would that be?
I think it has to be Manchester City right now in terms of who has the money to afford him, of course, because we know there's that release clause kicking in the summer 2022. But before that, he can go for far more money than the 75 million euros. For the ties as well that Manchester City, of course, have with the Haaland family, and Alfie have been playing there. I think as a kid, there must have been a lot of love from Erling as well towards Manchester City. So the fact of being working with Pep Guardiola, for example, it must be a big attraction. The Premier League, the way City are playing as well. Financially, of course, it'd be much better than in Dortmund. So I think Man City right now, even more than Real Madrid or Barcelona or those kind of clubs, City must be one with a lot of attraction for Erling and his family as well. And you could easily see that happening because City will go for a striker. They have to. Aguero will leave in the summer. They will need someone else. And if they can make that deal happen, I think everybody will be a big winner.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.